Bitrate Podcast, episode 53, as this one is called the Xbox Ally? What? What's going on here? Welcome everybody to the GamezAttack Podcast here at OldFreakyGamer.com. Oh boy, how's it going, everybody? How's it going? I should have had the cheering crowd, shouldn't I have? Yeah. That's better. That's definitely better. How's it going, everybody? Welcome, everybody, to the 53rd GamezAttack podcast episode. Oh, boy. Like I said, around June-ish or so, I do plan on doing these once a week, maybe, just to break things up a little bit and stuff and make the podcast a little shorter, but yet you're still getting a lot more content because you're going to have a podcast every week instead of every 2 weeks. That is still planned for June, if everything goes according to my plans, which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But yes, that's in June. But otherwise, we're still going to do our bi-weekly podcast and such. This was, I hate when I always say this, but I know it never works out. This will be a shorter podcast, maybe. I kind of really went through all the news stories throughout the 2 weeks that since the last podcast, which is every 2 weeks. And I looked through them. I said, which ones do I want? You know, it's always a tireless amount of news out there for games. And I know a lot of people, you know, I listen to other people's gaming podcasts and such, and you know, a lot of the news I just don't really want to report, and then a lot of the news I do want to talk about and stuff that's happening, and then there's gaming news that happens, and I just pick and choose. And sometimes I'm like, will people really care about this? Do people really want to hear this or not? Do they want to hear it again? You know, so it is one of those things where it's like, okay, what should I talk about? What has been talked about to death? And what stuff could people be interested in? And what stuff should I just toss out because I know people aren't so interested in it? Like Samsung's foldable fake gaming handheld that I guess might be a gaming handheld, but it was a prototype, and they were wondering if people are interested in it. I'm like, Samsung, I don't think you're really into that kind of a game, and you just want to put anything and everything as a foldable thing. And I hear foldable technology's still not there yet, that it still creases up, and sometimes the foldable screen breaks a lot easier than a normal LCD or OLED screen. Or what do they use? They just use LCD, right? They don't have an OLED foldable, do they? I don't know. But the technology's still not 100% there. So I don't think people would really care about, Samsung's created this new gaming handheld and it's foldable. Okay, is it powerful enough to play the games that people want, or is it basically what I'm thinking, an Android device? But it could maybe run Windows, but then they'd have to make the circuitry and I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I don't think anybody's too interested in that unless they make the SoC and stuff really really good and they can shrink it down enough. But you notice stuff like the ROG Ally and the Lenovo Legion Goes and the other ones are pretty bulky as they are. They're not super bulky, but bulky enough where you got to be able to fit a lot of the technology, electronics, and battery in them. And I think something with Samsung when they're making these foldables, I think they're mostly making them so, these are going to be Android based, so we can use less power and less battery, less, all the internals and stuff, make it thin and foldable. But people want to play the games on something that's really decent out there. And I know it's just a prototype, but I don't know if people really care 100%. If foldable technology was really, really good and it worked, I think people would care more. But but yeah, I don't really, for me, I don't really see that is going in a good path for promoting foldables and stuff. I still want a foldable phone. It's just all the reviews on all these foldable phones I see is everybody complains about the screen and the middle of the screen where it bends, and there's a lot of problems with that. Either it makes a crease or it breaks or all of the above, and that is just something I don't want to deal with, especially on a new phone. So I'm still waiting and I'm still praying and hoping that these makers of these new technologies and stuff and foldables and stuff create something that I really like. Because I like that Moto Razr flip phone that they got, which is, a full phone like my smartphone here if you're watching the podcast, and then it could flip. It'll flip open and close, and then you got another screen on the other side. I like that. That's pretty sweet, but until you can make that technology really good for the foldables, I don't see myself buying one right away. So why don't we get into the podcast, because we got stuff to talk about, especially maybe this new handheld gaming machine that Microsoft and it's been practically debunked, or it's been pretty much announced. That you could still call this a rumor, but I think the people at Asus announced. I think Asus did announce that they were the true partners with Xbox on this portable new Xbox handheld that Microsoft and them are partnering up with, and I'm guessing that's what the next ROG Ally is going to be. It's going to be the Xbox ROG Ally, and I got things to talk about on that. Plus, Microsoft's next gen console, which I'm like, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to make it a PC? What? Yeah, we'll talk about that after these games that I have played in the past weeks, because I did play some games. I've been playing less of other games than most, but I've been playing some extra games here and there, but otherwise I've been sticking with the very few games that I've been playing. But I got some new ones here. So here are the games that I played in the past week.
The games that have been played in the past week.
Yeah. What's this? What's this one? Ah. There we go. Oh, how about this?
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, that's just Cartman. I'm looking at my soundboards. It's hard for me to see today. My eyes are a little tired. It's been tired eyes. I've been up really late over the nights playing games and stuff. So it's been really. Plus the weather. When the weather is changing for the better, we've been getting 60, almost 70-degree weather out here, even though right now it's been stormy and windy. It's still like in the 60s and stuff. And the weather changes is making me all whoopy-doopy because of my sinuses and shit like that. So I'm a little extra whoopy today. So excuse me if my nasally drone voice is different-ish today. Not that it would matter, but and my brain, it's all mixed up. I'm all a bunch of mixed up gookla. I was going to record this podcast on Thursday, but I waited. Of course, me and my procrastination, I didn't do it till today, Sunday, and I was going to do it yesterday and Saturday, but I ended up doing a whole bunch of other stuff and playing a whole bunch of Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, which I'll start off with. It's not in order, but yes, I've been playing a lot of that. Right before I did started this podcast, I've been playing nonstop today, since the morning, a ton of Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, doing a lot of side questing and stuff. I've been leaving the main story missions to the stream each Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time on OldFreakyGamer.com, YouTube Live, or Twitch.tv. If you want to choose one of them for my Old Freaky Gamer stream for Yakuza Like Me, as I continue my adventures in Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. But otherwise, I've been playing a ton of it, side stuff. Been Been doing a lot of capturing criminals. I've been doing a lot of that stuff, beating them up, getting money from them, and being a bounty hunter all over the island of Hawaii, Honolulu. I think I almost got them all. I think there's a few more on the other side. They re-upped the bounties. I don't know if they do that every so often, because when I first took care of all the bounties the first time, a little bit later on, they re-upped all the bounties. They gave me new bounties, so I wonder if they're going to have new bounties after this going forward. That'd be pretty interesting if they did. If I took care of all these bounties, but I like doing the bounties because I get a lot of money from the bounties, a lot of money. So that's been pretty fun. I've been doing some side quests here. I did the vocational college thing. I've been trying that out again, doing some testing and stuff with Majima. That gives you extra points and stuff like that to spend on upgrades. And I've been sailing the seas, being a pirate. I pretty much maxed out my pirate crew, even though I have more people than I need for my pirate ship. I've pretty much maxed out my whole pirate crew on getting a whole bunch of people and trying to level them all up as my pirate crew, as they would be, Majima's pirates. And going after, what are they called? I know they're not called the Black Flags, but the, what are those evil pirates called? Well, they run the Black Flags, but what did they freaking call them, Mr. Mike? I can do this. I might as well do this. Hold on. Let's see here. Like a dragon. You know what? I'm just gonna. You won't even notice it. That's what they were called, the devil flags. Sorry about that, folks. You did not notice a thing about me pausing this podcast while I was looking it up because my brain never seems to work. And why is this not going up? Okay, there we go. Yeah, the devil flags. That's what they're called, the devil flags. And going up against them while trying to get treasure and stuff and fighting them, I got myself into a predicament with them. But it might be solved because now that I got a full pirate crew with buffs and health updates and protections and stuff, and hopefully if everything goes according to plan, I leveled up Majima with his skills and his pirate skills a bit more. So going into these fleet battles, which I want to try out maybe today if I get a chance to, because I might want to play some other stuff today. Going after them gets really tough and challenging, and usually you can breeze through a lot of this stuff, but they can really kick your ass, these pirates. You get like over 100, almost 100 pirates coming at you and after you of these black flag pirates or something, and they're a bunch of hay-holes. They got some superpowers. They'll throw out their superpowered guys and they'll just knock the health right out of you in like a couple shots, and it's like, whoa, what the hell's going on? And then they try to tell you, oh, you go use the hook and stuff of your Majima hook and stuff, your pirate Majima hook and stuff. And I don't like using the pirate Majima hook that much unless if I'm using it like around, walking around on the islands and stuff like that and catching bugs or treasures or butterflies and stuff. Otherwise, using it in battle is not my ideal way to use that hook, but they do promote that a lot. I try to use my knives and swords and using crazy techniques and try to block as best I can. I have failed a bunch of times on those black flag pirates or whatever. and you know, just learning, trying. They're not particular to the main plot or the story or anything. They're just something of a side story and missions and stuff. But it's pretty cool that I get to take them on and have something else to do on top of the main story. What else can I say? It is fun. It is goofy. There is a lot of, repetition and a lot of repetitive stuff that you might have seen and played in Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth and stuff like that, with with the reused assets and all that. So there's a lot of stuff like that crazy taxi thing, that crazy, what is it called? The crazy pizza delivery guy. You got the take pictures of sickos. I didn't do that yet. And a bunch of other stuff that it's like, okay, I guess they wanted to keep that stuff in because people liked it, but to me, it doesn't mean anything. I'm more focused on the main story, side stories, or sub stories as they call them, and just doing all the side questing and stuff, and making as much money and getting as much power as I can, so I can battle these people, and then going back to the main storyline. I'm sure it'll help battle those people as well in the main story, because I did see beyond this, because I'm already on chapter 3, and there's like a 4th chapter, and then there's the ending, the finale of it. It's not that long of a game, technically, for the main story-wise, but I think they put a lot into the chapters to make it longer, and plus with all the side stuff and all the other stuff, it makes that whole game a little bit longer. I already played over a day or so in this game, so I got pretty much more of my money's worth in gameplay time. And then, of course, with all the content I've been creating for the live stream, it's been a great game. I like it. I love my Yakuza games. I know there's probably another one around the corner next year. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they'll take a break one year and stuff, but for the past few years, they've been cranking out new games every year so far. And, a couple side games, and then the main game, and a side game, and a turn-based game. I don't know. I would like them to go back to Judgment. I know I said that a million times over. I still say that I really would love them to go back to the Judgment games and bring back, Kato and what the main character's name. Oh, shoot. That's sad. I don't remember my main character's name. Magami. Magami. I think it's Magami. Magami's detective agency. I think it's Magami. Don't quote me on it. You can. You go into the show notes, go into the comments under the YouTube video here, this podcast video. Tell me I'm stupid. Tell me, no, his name is Magami. But Kato, I know Kato because Kato's cool. We all know Kato. And I rarely know the rest of the people. I know that's the lady district attorney that Magami likes and stuff. And they were once, I guess, an item, and then they're just friends, etc., etc. Well, I know of the secondary characters. I just don't know everybody's name because I forget. You tend to forget stuff, especially when we haven't had one of those Judgment games for years now, which I'm thinking I don't know if the second one was one and done, their last one, and that the whole with the actor thing and all that. I don't know. I still liked them, and I thought it was a really good side thing compared to just, okay, we're playing all Yakuza games. Oh, now we can be detectives, and we got this whole side thing, but it's in the Yakuza-verse and stuff, and there's all this stuff going on, and I would really like to go back to that. And we'll see what they do with that stuff. But yeah, I've been playing a ton of Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii on the PC. I should put /ROG Ally on here because I did not do that. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I'll put it in now. ROG Ally, because I've been playing it on there, and it plays amazingly. Why didn't the / go in there? I don't know. Something feels weird with my computer right now, but it could just be me. Anyways, yes, been playing it. Plays wonderfully on the handheld. Plays magically on the desktop. Played a little bit of Avowed. Didn't do too much over the week, and I have not played any of Avowed over the weekend. I am going to get back into it probably this week. Get into some more Avowed and go questing and into the open world. That's been fun when I played it, the last week. Been doing a lot of questing, opened up into a new area and stuff, and just been going around battling, collecting stuff, trying to upgrade my weapons and gear and stuff, just like I do in all the games. All these games, I'm the same kind of thing. A lot of people would consider that a boring thing, but me, I like my knives, I like my swords, I like my stabby weapons. And then people ask me, but how about that Assassin's Creed Shadows? I'm sure you're really interested and happy about that. And I'm like, yes, I'm very happy about that game coming out pretty soon. I'm very happy, interested in that game. But like I said, I'm not going to get it right away. I'll probably wait on that due to the fact that I got all these other games to play. I would love to play it. I would love it if a certain Ubisoft would gift me a Xbox copy or something of that game. I would say the PC version, but the PC version you don't get achievements with. So, and my achievement whoreness of me needs to play that on a console. Unless if Ubisoft changes their ways and they let me purchase it on the Xbox store, on the PC store of the Xbox store, but I don't know why they don't do that. You'd think they would want more money. They already sell it on the Xbox store for the console version. They're selling it on Steam now, day and date, on top of their stupid Ubisoft store. You would think they'd just put it everywhere. Why not put it on the PC storefront of the Xbox? For the Xbox PC storefront. I don't get it. Especially when Microsoft charges probably less for that. I think they charge less for that on their Xbox PC store than others. You would think it'd be a win-win, especially provided with the achievements and stuff, but these companies are fickle. They're weird, and a lot of times this is why they're not doing so hot in the business. As things are going on right now and I know I'm going off base here and I'm talking about other stuff instead of the games that I played, but that's what I usually do when I talk about games that I played. I always go off way base. But, actually, we'll hold off on that. We'll hold off on talking about Ubisoft a little bit because I forgot all about it. I even forgot to look it up, but basically Ubisoft is maybe looking to sell some of their studios and properties and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if they're consolidating or what's happening with Ubisoft, but there might be some shenanigans going on with them. And we'll talk a little briefly about that. But I played a little bit of Avowed, not too much. Just still going forward with the thing. I still got to go find the dead force. I still got to go try to save the my god or something. They're getting raped in there or whatnot. I don't know. Not good things going on over in Avowed in the dark forests and stuff like that. But I haven't been going forward with that. I've just been doing some questing and some side stuff and fighting and stuff. But still a fun game. I wish it would run a little bit better on the Switch, on the ROG Ally, on the PC version of the ROG Ally. It runs great on the Xbox, on the PC and my main PC, but it seems to take a lot of horsepower to do so. And I thought they would have optimized it a bit so it can run on handhelds a bit better, and you would think the Unreal 5 engine would run better on anything and everything because they were touting that. But it does tend to stutter and struggle a little bit on the handheld. It's not that it's not playable, it's just it struggles a little bit. That's all. But it's still a fun game, and definitely got to get back to it this week. Played this new game that came out on Game Pass. I don't know how new it is or old it is. I haven't looked on the background. It's called Mullet Madjack. I've been playing on the Series X. Part of Game Pass. It's basically you're this guy, this Duke Nukem, consider him guy. You're going and doing this whole speed run kind of thing where you got to speed through and hack and slash or shoot or kill these guys in a time trial, and you got to get as far as you can and then see if you win or not, and you got to get to the end, I think, and then you level up, you get points, level up stuff, and just keep going and keep going. It's a repetitive kind of game. It's in this like virtualistic, like nightclubby-ish world with lots of colors, darkness, stuff like that, things going on. It's got a little bit of a super hot feel to it. Yeah, even though you're not doing the whole all move and the enemies move thing like Super Hot does and stop and the enemies stop, but it has that feel to it. Even though they're not stopping when you're stopping, they're just doing their thing and shooting you and battling you. You as the main character, I guess your name is Madjack or Mullet Madjack. I don't know. You're the main character. You're going through. You got these, I don't know, what do you call them? Sluttyish kind of virtual women yelling at you and telling you stuff in the game. Oh, this one lady, like she must be the ringleader of it or something. She's like the master control lady, and she's telling you, oh yes, go through this thing, do this. Oh, you die. Oh, you failed. Oh, you suck. And she's telling you this stuff, and it's like, okay, biatch, where are you? I just want to kill you now. And it's like, it's this whole thing, and it's like a really repetitive game where you're just repeating and stuff. And I just played, a few hours of it just to get the hang of it. I got a ton of achievements out of it already. That thing throws achievements at you like crazy. And I looked at the rest of the achievements, and a lot of them seem doable on there, but it's a weird game. It's an interesting, weird game. It's on Game Pass. I don't know where it's going, the story's going or anything like that, but it is a definite repetitive, very repetitive type of game, like hack and slash, shooty. You get to try to get a new weapon here and there, and whatever weapon you use. I think I used a machine gun. I used the knives. I used another type of a weapon, and every time you try to get a new or different weapon, you use it in there, and you try to battle your way through to the end and stuff, and you only get one weapon, and it's very unique on how they created this game, and it looks cool. And of course, Mullet Madjack is free on Game Pass, so you can play it on your PC or Xbox Series X. Definitely highly recommend checking it out, even if you just blow off of it after a while. I don't know. I don't know how much more of it I'll be willing to play, but I'll play enough of it to try to get squeeze out a few more achievos out of it and have some fun. I don't know if it's going to take me anywhere. Learning how to go through the scenarios and try to get as many people killed as possible before I get to the end does become a little challenging, especially because it does some platforming as well. And but it's a unique game, and that's Mullet Madjack for the Series X PC on Game Pass now. It's probably available on PlayStation 5 and elsewhere as well. Who I wouldn't doubt it. Let's see here. Played a bunch of Vampire Survivors. Just going through my characters a bit more, trying to go through more stages and stuff. Shooty, going around, survival. Vampire Survivors. What more there's nothing more I have to say about it. It's Vampire Survivors. And then I finished up which you will see this week. Yeah, this week. This Wednesday, you will see, instead of The Sims, because I made a mistake, it wasn't The Sims that you would see. It's Road 96 that you'll see. When I did my last stream, I thought I was putting up The Sims on there, but no, it was Road 96 that I did a video of recently, because I already did The Sims collection already. But Road 96, I completed my first playthrough through it. I might go back for a little bit more just to finish up on a few extra achievos that I didn't get out of it. But I did complete a big chunk of Road 96. There's just very few characters that I did not fully unlock or utilize or meet or whatever it was or get together with. I guess there's a few endings, and I guess there's a few different scenarios and places you can do and what you can do in each scenario. But very fun game. It has a really good, strong, dark, very dark story line to it, especially for each of your hitchhiking runaway kid survivors that are trying to get to the border, and crossing and stuff. Has a unique feel to it, with the art and the other characters you meet along the way, like Zoe and stuff like that, and the genius kid that can do all this stuff like hacking and building stuff and a whole bunch of stuff. There's good stories or bad stories. There was a few times I either died or got captured, but most of the time I was able to get across the border and stuff. So it's a strong, struggling type of a game. And I played it on PC. You can play it on the PC or Xbox Series X or whatever or not. It's your choice. And it's on Game Pass, so it's a definite what I say would get definite tryout. You know, I know this game came out a while ago, and then they just started putting it on Game Pass. Well, not too recently now. It's been on Game Pass for a while now, but it's a really decent game, and stuff like this that just pops out of nowhere, just like Mullet, Madjack, Road 96, things that I never really seen or heard of before. Like there wasn't enough promotion or whatnot, or if there was all this other stuff going on during these games getting promoted and coming out, and then realizing and finding out about these games when they jump on Game Pass, and you look on Game Pass, you're like, ooh, new games on Game Pass, and you look at them and you're like, oh wow, never heard of this, never played this before, and it's like a whole new experience. You get to learn a whole new experience about these games, and it's really good, really fun, and I like exploring. I like what should I say? Finding new games and new games to play and try out. Even if I don't like them, I like to try out a lot of new games and stuff. And Game Pass helps me with that. If there was no such thing as Game Pass and it was just Steam and everything else, sure, I would see these games like on Steam or the Xbox storefront or something. I'd look at them, I'd be like, oh, they look cool, but I don't know if they play cool. And then I'd never get a chance to play them because I wouldn't want to spend $20-$30 or more on these games. I think Road 96 is like $20-something. Don't quote me on that. It could be cheaper now, but a lot of them are like a few dollars, and if it's something that you don't want to spend money on, or because you don't understand or know the games too well, you're not going to play them, and then they don't get no sales from you or gameplay out of you. At least with Game Pass, they're getting paid by Microsoft, aka Xbox, for the going up on the store front and being part of Game Pass and stuff. So there is those deals where, me playing it and downloading it and playing it on my home system, they're getting some money out of that, which is great. It's great to support those kind of developers and such, and those kind of projects, because Road 96, really decent badass game. Definitely. So let's see here. I was talking about Ubisoft a little bit. So there is rumors are scattering. There's not too much on it. I don't think I have any, let me go here, news stories on it or anything yet. Let me take a quick look into my thing here, Tony. I'm looking to see if there's anything. No, I don't really have anything on that, but apparently rumors are swirling, and I don't know any other real details except for what I heard from other podcasters and what was going on online. But there is supposedly stuff going on at Ubisoft, and I heard Ubisoft's been going behind, like having talks, business talks behind their shareholders' backs and stuff on potentially selling off IP and stuff like that, and maybe studios, who knows, and stuff from Ubisoft to make some extra money in their pockets and such. And I knew nothing about that. Nobody's really heard anything about it, but it's like, what's going on with the Guillemot family and what's going on with Ubisoft right now, where they feel like, oh, this is the next step for them. Will this help or hurt them in the long run, especially with shareholders? I don't know. And if they do decide to sell some IPs, like, I don't know, the Assassin's Creed IP or something, or the Watch Dogs IP, or they got a lot of IPs. They got Rayman, they got the Raving Rabbids, they got, what are the other ones? Beyond Good and Evil, they got, Rainbow Six Siege, they got all those Tom Clancy games. Yes, they got the Tom Clancy's, right? Yeah. They got a bunch of that stuff, and Microsoft might be one of those big, or I should say Xbox. I gotta stop saying Microsoft. That's a point that I should be making now, that I should stop saying Microsoft and say more Xbox. But I think Xbox has their big Eye of Sauron on Ubisoft right now, where they're like, hey, Ubi, we'll buy some of your IP. We'll buy some of your people and studios or whatnot. I wonder if there might be something going down in the near future where they do a joint partnership or something, or Microsoft. Because I can definitely see Microsoft trying to do something like buying up stuff, especially now that you got new leadership in the White House and everywhere else. I wonder if there's more power, because Microsoft, of course, very powerful company, like it or not, have a lot of money behind the scenes and such. I wonder if there would be and I'm watching this video. What's going on with this video? I shouldn't be watching this video. I'm watching this video as I'm trying to do this thing here, and I should not be doing it. Hold on. Sorry, this is my bad. I've been watching, this video's been playing for a news story here, and it's really screwing with me. And I shouldn't be looking at it. I'm trying to talk, and I'm looking at this video. I'm like, what the fuck's going on in this video? And there's this video on this gaming site. Okay, sorry about that, folks. That's podcasting, my bad. I'm getting distracted while I'm trying to talk. But I wonder what's going on. I wonder if Microsoft might have some... Xbox might have some interest in purchasing or taking over some stuff of Ubisoft, or maybe buying out Ubisoft altogether. I don't know. They like the French company. Why not? Owning Microsoft, Xbox, owning the Assassin's Creed IPs and everything else. I know a lot of people would be like, well, then that would mean more games that aren't going to be coming out, and oh, what are they going to have Bethesda work on those games? What's going to go on? Oh, they're not going to do nothing with that. They got too many things already. You know, the outliers out there. And I'm like, well, who else would you think would have the money to buy most of the IP or company of Ubisoft? Not many. Definitely not Sony. Sony would not spend enough money to be able to buy out the likes of them over at Ubisoft and their what should I say, studios and IPs. EA, they would just be the deaf to the IPs. EA would definitely buy the IPs, do nothing with them, or they'll do one thing with them. They'll be like, okay, make a write-off of those, and then you never see or hear those IPs again. Microsoft would actually try, or Xbox, bad Mr. Mike, Xbox would definitely try with Phil Spencer and them, would try to do something with those IPs, working on them and such, especially the Assassin's Creed IPs. But it's all talks. It's all rumored. It's all talks. There's nothing that's been said or done yet. Maybe by the time the summertime comes, when the summer game fest goes on, and all these people like Microsoft, Xbox, man, I know Microsoft is the parent company, but Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo talk about that kind of stuff. And you notice I never said anything about Nintendo taking over any IP, because I don't think Nintendo would ever buy any IPs from anybody like that. They're very fickle. And they only buy IPs that make sense to them in their own little realms, their own little worlds. But I can see definitely Microsoft, Xbox, even though it is Microsoft, even Xbox being the main purchaser of that. Maybe Take-Two, or 2K, I should say. Take-Two, 2K, whatever, same company. Take-Two, EA, those could be the major ones that I would see. Sure, that'd mean consolidating the industry even more, and it's more of the big ones. But look at, it's Hollywood. Hollywood does the same thing. Everything's the same way. Games in the gaming industry is all about the money, people. If you did not understand that yet, I'm sorry to say that's what it is. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when there's more news stories hitting and stuff, and more background talk, because a lot of people are saying Assassin's Creed Shadows will not help or save Ubisoft at all. They'll make probably a lot of sales, but not as enough of what Ubisoft might want. Notice they haven't spoken anything about Star Wars Outlaws for a while. I haven't either, but I am going to go back to that someday. I do love that game. That's a very fun game. It's just, it takes a lot. You need a lot of investment time in that game. Same with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and stuff like that. You need a lot of investment time in those games, and eventually I want to get back to those games, have some fun with those. And I will. But I do want to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's just, I think I'm going to wait till it goes cheaper, unless if Ubisoft wants to throw me a copy. I would definitely score myself a copy and play it, and talk about it and stuff like that, because I am interested. I'm interested to hearing these other podcasters out there that already got their grubby little paws on the game ahead of time, because, a lot of these people have been in the industry for a while, and they get their hands on this, and they got ties, media ties. Unlike me, I'm all by myself. They're able to get these games ahead of time, play them, and do all that. But I like to have fun with my games. I'm not going to rush everything. Like, you'll see a lot of the same content from me a lot of the times. Like I said, I got my Like a Dragon or Yakuza Like Me series, where I'm playing all the Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I'm playing a lot of Avowed and stuff. And, I'm not rushing this stuff. I'm enjoying my games, because that's what I do. I like to enjoy my games. Now, sure, I'll pop onto another game here and there, play some extra games and stuff on the side, but ultimately, I like to enjoy and get invested in my games, and I'm not here to push an agenda to try to play every game and everything and hurry. I just cannot do that. It's not my job. My real job is at another place. This is just my hobby place, and I just don't do that kind of stuff. But I like to soak into the games. Like I said, I love the Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I played hundreds of hours of that game. I forgot how many hundreds are. I played a lot of that. I did a lot of stuff in that game. And I would hope that Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'd do the same thing. And I hope it's really good when I get it. Either if I'm getting it cheaper or whatnot down the road. When I eventually do purchase that game, I will definitely be playing that game. I already did talk about the games that I played in the past weeks, so I already talked about that. Ubisoft. Let's talk about stuff before we get into the news stuff. Let's see here. Trying to look here. We're going to talk about the rumored soon Xbox partner handheld gaming device, and the next Xbox proper, and what the future plans might be for Xbox going forward in this industry, because Microsoft, Xbox, aka Microsoft, isn't doing too hot out there in the gaming console gamer play field out there. So apparently, and this has all just been coming out right now, rumored, not rumored, let's just say this is just leaked information. We can still call it rumored, but this is leaked information. And for me, stating that this is Asus saying that they're making it, Asus, somebody said a person from Asus or some individual from Asus did confirm that they were the ones partnering up with Microsoft and Xbox. We can say Microsoft there because they do the hardware. But they were partnering up with Xbox to do this official partnered Xbox handheld. And it is supposed to come out this year, so this summer. So if that means the Switch 2 comes out this summer, if it comes out in the fall, doesn't matter to me because I'm not getting a Switch 2 until the OLED version is announced and comes out. So I will wait on that. But for this coming out at that time, that seems like the normal time that Asus has been bringing out these ROG Ally gaming handhelds. When the first one came out, it came out in June. The ROG Ally X revisioned one, that came out in June as well, right? May-ish, June. That came out at that time, same time as well. And I pretty much figured that this one will come out because they were already working on it. And I bet you, because Phil Spencer, if you've seen any of his back videos and such, he was showing off the ROG Ally behind the scenes and talking about the ROG Ally and gaming handhelds. And he was talking about playing the ROG Ally and saying that it was a pretty good piece of hardware. Plus, who else would you think would make a good gaming handheld that Microsoft would want to partner up with, that they know of, that this company would get out on time and have a bunch of hardware ready to go to sell out there for people to purchase? It definitely would not be it definitely wouldn't be like Lenovo with the Legion Go and stuff. They haven't been doing a stellar job, even though I heard they got like special parts of the OS to for the Xbox OS to be on their systems, and they've been doing some interesting things. And everybody else like HP and I'm trying to think of other people here. HP, the Anuana Chinese company, I think that's what they are. Not Samsung, definitely not Sony. But you think of other PC companies and all their handhelds and other companies making handhelds. The only one you think of that would be perfect to make this handheld, the thing that Xbox would want to be able to use to play the games and such, would be Asus, because they've been doing that Asus handheld a good service. Like I said, I can say this over and over again until my eyes and my mouth bug out and I just go, I just die on my sword talking about it. But I love my Asus ROG Ally. It's been the PC gaming handheld, Xbox handheld that I really wanted for all this time, and I've been utilizing that and playing it for so much because I could play so much of my Xbox games on that thing with the PC game side. And then if I want to play a Steam game on there, I can, or a game from another site or whatever, or if I want to put ROMs, my emulators on there, I do. And it's been that perfect device for all that stuff. For me to do on the go or on the handheld, or if I want to be outside in the front yard in my sitting on my deck porch or laying on my couch in my deck porch or something, playing games outside, whatever, not having to boot up a console, not having to have this big supercomputer on and sucking up all the electricity of the world and wasting power and heating up my office here and stuff. It's just a nice device that just handheld, play the games I want to play. Now, sure, I don't play like Command & Conquer or anything like that on there, but for the games that I do have and play on there, with all the games that you can do with a controller, that works perfectly well for all those types of games. And I played lots and lots and lots of different types of games. Plus, it's got a touchscreen, so if you got some touchscreen games, you can always use the touchscreen for your touchscreen games as well. It's just a win-win for that thing. And Asus with the Armory Crate has made that Armory Crate work and feel really good. The interface is really good, and they did an excellent job on that. So talking about that, we're talking about the handhelds and such. So there's also a next-gen Xbox that has been confirmed that they have fully designed and got priced out and all that stuff and got approved for production within 2 years. They got set for 2027, the next-gen Xbox, which a lot of people are talking about also is going to be more PC-like going forward, that they're going to evolve everything around a PC-like experience, which to me sounds like a no-brainer because first off, the Xbox Series X and stuff runs an underlaying low-level Windows software under it right now, but now they can do it so that they can just maybe sell PC games and sell their games and not have to make special games or have people design games for, their system. They can just design it for the PC, for the Xbox PC, and just make it for, this can play on this, and this console will be able to fully utilize all this stuff, but yet it'll have that power to play all the original Xbox 360, and, Xbox One and beyond games of till now and beyond for those types of games, because it'll be really fully a powerhouse to do all that stuff. Now, we also don't know, will that next-gen Xbox have a regular AMD processing power in there or SoC in there, or will they utilize maybe that Snapdragon technology with some graphics technology in there? I don't know. It's up to them to decide on what they're going to do with that stuff. But if that Snapdragon technology is as powerful as people they've been saying, and as Snapdragon Qualcomm, Snapdragon, as that company's been saying about it, if it's as powerful as they say that these chips are, all they need is the better graphics chips for them, and then they're off to the races. Then they got a low power needed computer to do all that stuff, to run all those games and such. Let's see here. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But I think with this gaming handheld, which they're talking about this Xbox handheld or partnered handheld called Project Keenan. And no, it's not Kenan and Kel, but a lot of people are making fun of that. They were saying, it's Kenan and Kel from like the Kenan and Kel show or all that and all that. You got to be old enough like me and all these other people that watch all that stuff back from the Nickelodeon days. But it's Project Keenan. That's what they're calling this gaming handheld. There's no news on pricing or compatibility, or the launch window is supposedly by the end of this year. So I'm thinking the summer. It's going to be soon. I bet you it's because Asus is going to be working on it. They even talked about that this is OEM-built PC gaming handheld at its core, akin to the Asus ROG Ally. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I know they don't want to say anything, but when the cat gets out of the bag, you got to say some stuff. And like I said, I think it was a person at Asus that actually stated that this is being worked on with Asus. So in news in which may not shock you, it's Asus that has been tipped to build the Xbox Project Keenan device. We can collaborate. What does that say? Corroborate a report from the Verge's Tom Warren that the Project Keenan is indeed from Asus, and it will essentially feel somewhat familiar to the Asus ROG Ally owners, with actually a bit of a difference to it, which is supposedly going to be more Xbox controller-esque. Because apparently, and I'm getting it out now for you people that want to see it, the video version of this podcast, I'm holding up my Xbox controller. It's going to be more like this. They already have it where it's typically basically an Xbox like feel controller and feel on the ROG Allies. But what's going to be different, this Xbox partnered device, handheld device, is going to have the Xbox home button, which is this button here, the little X here that you can push down. And it's going to have probably the hamburger. Well, they already got the hamburger and the other button, the Windows button and stuff. But it might have maybe a capture button on the bottom. Who knows? Maybe the analog sticks might be different. Maybe they'll use a more hollow effect sticks for those. Maybe the pad itself will be a little bit more different, but it is going to have more of that, and it's going to have more. Basically, it's going to have an Xbox overlay design to it, so it's not going to probably be Armory Crate running that. It's going to be more of Xbox interface that's going to run over that, but you'll still, as they're saying, you'll still be able to install, I guess, other games on the side. Like if you're going to download like Steam, the Steam store, or anybody else's store, you'll still be able to do that on this device because it is running Windows still on this gaming handheld. It's still going to be using a version of Windows, which I would think would be more custom built and designed for this device, maybe to make it more lightweight and make it utilize more power for the gaming side, especially if this might be the user interface that they're working on, that Microsoft is working on with Asus to improve. So when their future console comes out and such, and future other hardware and gaming hardware, that all this will be unified. So when gamers out there can go and play their games, that's going to have that OS that everybody will be using for this, if it is first or third party on this, which I like. I'm very interested on the Xbox style. I know a lot of other people out there that talked about not wanting to own one of these gaming handhelds, that is because, they wanted the Xbox interface on these handhelds, and they definitely wanted the Xbox buttons and stuff on them as well. And I'm like, it doesn't, right now with my ROG Ally now, it doesn't really bother me that much that it doesn't have the Xbox button and stuff on there. But if this is going to be what the next ROG Ally, if it's even called the ROG Ally, I just named it in my podcast. I said the Xbox ROG Ally, which that would be a good name for it. The Asus Xbox ROG Ally, that'd be pretty cool. Or just Xbox ROG Ally. I don't know if they would go Xbox Portable or anything like that, but the Xbox ROG Ally would be a really good name for this device, because it is going to be a ROG Ally basically, just with Xbox, all of Microsoft's working alongside. So, like I said, we don't know anything more about it. I'm just reading some stuff here. All I know is it's going to work even better with running Windows games and stuff. We do not know if it will run Xbox games. I would hope so. But I'm not nobody's going to guarantee that. But you would think if Microsoft is trying to work on an all-in-one device or ecosystem, and they want all these devices to run all the software and the backwards compatibility and all that, and promoting that thousands of games can be played on these devices, I would think that they would find a way that if you own like at least the digital, I'm not saying like a physical edition, because there is no disk drives. You can't even fit a disk drive onto a device like that. But if you bought a digital copy of like something like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which originally you can only get on Now, what was I talking about? Sorry, I had to pause for a second to yell at somebody. Making so much noise. You might not hear it, but I hear it too well. Yeah, but if they, which I hear a lot of, like I said, I hear a lot of back and forth from people saying, oh, this could be done or this won't be done or this, they're just testing out regular games. But for me, if I can download, like if I purchased on the Xbox store front, doesn't matter if it's the PC store or not, which eventually they could get rid of just the Xbox PC store. They could just call it the Xbox store and not worry about if it's PC or one of the other official Xbox hardware. But if this is running and I can purchase like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which originally I will not be able to play on my Xbox or on my PC or anything unless if I buy it directly from the Ubisoft store or Steam, that's what gets me a little separated. This is what gets me saying, oh, I'm not, this is the reason why I'm not going full off of a console yet. Even though the next Xbox console, maybe I might not buy it. Who knows? If they can do something where I can get all the rest of the games to be playable on my Windows machines and stuff, that's what I really want. They got a lot of them. They got most of them. But there is at times, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, those types of games, where I need a Xbox console to play them on to get my achievements and all that stuff, because they do not offer it in the Xbox store front for the PC side and stuff. And for games that were never made for the PC, like a lot of 360 games, Xbox originals, a few slew of Xbox One titles and such, if those games, and like I said, if they were already purchased digitally and stuff, and I own a whole bunch of digital purchases on all those, if I'm able to download those and play those on my Xbox Asus ROG Ally or handheld, that would be a big game changer. That would blow everybody else's handhelds and stuff out of the water. That'd blow a lot of things out of the water, because then people would be like, oh shit, I can play all these games, like the next Grand Theft Auto game and whatnot. It would not be on PC, but if I buy it digitally for my Xbox or in the Xbox store, and I was able to just play it on my new Xbox ROG Ally or something, that would be awesome. But then you come in terms of talking, oh, then that means special licensing, maybe some other stuff. There's a lot of back-end stuff and a lot of legal stuff, I would think, that would make that a little hard, even though Microsoft's going for the buy once and play anywhere scheme on their side. That would be cool. But yet, like I said, a bunch of people said that's probably not going to be possible, at least not yet, unless when official, because this is just them partnering up with Asus to make an Xbox handheld, to get something out there to learn more about gaming on a handheld. And then I guess they're still working on an official inside Xbox handheld for down the road that they're going to be working on themselves, which would have to be maybe more closed down. I don't know. I don't know if they can close this kind of stuff down just with the software and stuff that they have and working with Asus. That would be cool. Like I said, that would be cool. A lot of people say that won't happen, or maybe never happen. But there is software and stuff out there and programs out there that allows people to already take Xbox 360 games and recompile them and get them working on a PC, apparently. I don't know how well that software works, but that's what I've been hearing. I heard there's a lot of good effort being worked into that, and that's just from modders and stuff, not from, I don't know if Microsoft's working on something like that, but that's been working on with other people on that. But that would be a big tipping point. That would blow things out of the water, because then, like I said, if this next Xbox Asus or Xbox Asus Keenan project portable system was running a specialized Xbox interface with Windows, and they actually did actually, did it so that you could play these games and I can purchase my next games whatever they are, but they're coming to Xbox anyways, as like I said, Grand Theft Auto or something, or Assassin's Creed Shadows, or any of those games. And I was able to take them and play them at least on that handheld. Now, note, maybe they won't have that software available for the PC or anything because they want to keep it to a more system that they can control, because still it's only Asus going to be doing it. Nobody else right now. They're just partnering up with one company, so they got more control over that stuff. That would be awesome, because then I'd be like, oh, I'm going to play this game or that next-gen game on my handheld and not have to worry. Or I could play on my Xbox because that's what I originally bought it for, but I could still play it on these systems as well. That would be interesting to me. I buy a game once, I can play it on my Xbox or my handheld. And not just, oh, is this game going to be working on this, or is this game working on that? I got to pick and choose. You just buy the game. That's all. They make it simple. They just buy the game, play it anywhere. And then eventually they'll have that software. Microsoft will have the software, or I should say Xbox, but it's Microsoft. It's people that program at Microsoft. Xbox and Microsoft will have that software down the road where it will be able to buy your games once and play them virtually anywhere, where if you're streaming it to any devices, play it on your portable Xbox device, your console, your PC, whatever, in their ecosystem. It's still locked down, but it's one purchase to play on them all. That's what I want. They're already doing it internally, and there are some third parties out there that actually do that stuff, like my Like a Dragon games, like my Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. That's a Sega game. That's from RGG Studios, but if I buy it once, which I did, I can play that anywhere. I can play on my Xbox right now. I play it mostly on my PC or my ROG Ally. So virtually, I can play it anywhere I want. If I want to switch to going off my PC and handheld, I go to just play it on the Xbox. I can do that. And that's nice. That's what I want. I'm sure a lot of gaming companies out there wouldn't like that because they want to make more money off that stuff. But I feel like you're throwing me a good bone here. I'll take that bone. I'll run with it. I'll be like, hey, thank you. I'll definitely buy your game. It's a no-brainer on this system because I can play it anywhere in my ecosystem of gaming devices and hardware. So I hope this is what it's going to be. Like I said, I hope it's more than just Microsoft slapping the Xbox logo on a ROG Ally and putting the button on there and stuff like that. Hopefully there's some interesting software interface behind it. Like I said, if it's a new and improved form of Windows where it's just not bogged down with all that extra crap that we don't need, that I deleted off of my Windows ROG Ally. Even on my PC, I take a lot of that software off. If they made it and they slimmed it down, made it faster, made it just more for just gaming, and utilized and pushed the gaming aspect of it, the power for the gaming aspect behind the scenes, and they made it a great device, and you can play any of your old and new games on that, and you could still be able to put it like a third-party store, like a Steam store or something, or the Epic store on there if you want to, because you could still do the Windows side of stuff. I'm all for that. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, if like they're saying here, a lot of people are saying it's Asus working with Xbox on this. So I'm pretty sure that's supposed to come out this summer. And I was even talking about, Asus is going to come out with another handheld this summer, definitely, because why not? Because they came out with them every year. They've been coming out with them, even though they only been out for 2 years. I got the original ROG Ally. Then the next year, the ROG Ally X came out. And then this year, supposedly, they're going to come out with this one. And I also think that Asus is the company that has the, which this is more geeky. I talked about this before, but I think Asus is the one that got the collaboration. They got the what would I say? The green light. They got the they were able to lock down the special AMD SoC chip, the more powerful one that people were talking about, that AMD's working with some special hardware company for the main new AMD SoC chip, that the other people got the other SoC chips, but there's this more powerful one or whatever it is that only one company is being licensed to right now. And I'm thinking it's Asus that might have that new AMD SoC chip with the more improved thing. So maybe they locked that down with AMD. So if that's something, I don't know if I don't know if any of you are interested in that, but to me that's interesting, because if they have that new chip, SoC chip locked down, theirs will be even more powerful than these next gen handhelds that are coming out now from other people, because they'll have that latest SoC to run games and stuff and software. So I'd really be happy to see what they come up with and what it can be able to run and stuff. So that'd be pretty cool. That I'd be very all for that. That'd be a really powerful handheld system. I don't give a shit about battery life, like I said, and I tell people this, and there's people out there that still want bigger, more powerful batteries, and they all complain and whine that, the battery life in these devices are not that good still. And I'm like, who cares? Who cares? Plug it in. It uses a USB-C cable. Plug it in. And if the new ROG Ally or Xbox ROG Ally comes out and has a USB-C on the top and the bottom, that'd be great too, because then you can have two ports, or if they have two USB-C ports on the top, or whatever they decide to do with this thing, then you can just plug it in and have an extra one if you need it. But shit, I have mine plugged in. I don't go anywhere. And a lot of places you do go, you can plug it in somewhere, right? There's car adapters. There's plane adapters for power needs. There's adapters for every country out there if you want to plug something in. There's power banks. You can get a nice little power bank to plug it in. There's a lot of stuff, and I don't see why people worry about that. I don't. A lot of people do, but shit. And two, I'm only playing 2 hours of a game on my handheld anyways. If I'm going to play more hours on my handheld beyond the 2 hours, I'm definitely going to have it plugged in, and I'm going to be somewhere where I have great Wi-Fi and stuff anyways. So people got to stop whining about the small stuff and worry about, does this have enough power to make a game look and play great on the handheld, to make me have fun and look at the game on my handheld and go, ooh, this is great, and not just go, it's another gaming handheld. It plays the game. I want it to play the game, make the game look great, run great as best it can. And if with Microsoft, if they can utilize all that technology and stuff between them, that'll be a great thing. And then if Microsoft, when they create the next Xbox handheld, the official one, the in-house one, with their hardware and technology, then I'm sure it'll probably be, I hate to say more locked down, but it'll be more locked down because it'll just be in their little ecosystem. But this still be, I don't know. I'm just predicting stuff. This is all rumor. This is a lot of this stuff even I don't know about. This is just all my predictions, saying what it could be and what I'm thinking it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to come out this summer, probably after the Xbox showcase. If Asus doesn't decide to announce this earlier during, I think they got somebody was saying they got some events that they're going to be hosting at. But I think this might be something that Xbox and Asus will wait for on their Xbox showcase in June. If they wait for it in June and then they announce it, and then they announce that it's coming out in July or something like that, that'd be great. I'd be all for that. Even if it comes out in June, like in the next week, or if it's available right away or whatever, I don't know. I'll pick one up ASAP. Then people are talking about, oh, this device might be $499, $599. That kind of worried me a little bit. Like I said, that's all just speculation and rumors that it would be that cheap. And you're probably saying to me, wondering, like, why, Mr. Mike? Why would you be so worried that it'd be that cheap compared to what the other ROG Allies and everything else is when they're like $699 and up? I'm like, well, if it's going to be $499, $599, I worry about how much memory it's going to have inside this unit or drive space and what I'm able to do to upgrade that stuff. Because you can't upgrade the RAM of these portable devices. You can only upgrade the drive space. So I can pop in a new M.2 drive in these things, but you can't, especially when Asus says they have it easier for you to open up the back end of it and pop in a new M.2, but you can't update the RAM in these things. And I want at least 32 to 64 gigs of RAM in one of these things that I can utilize that power. And if these are $499, $599, how powerful are these going to be? You know, it can only be so powerful, especially when the ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X are right now I think the ROG Ally Extreme is like $599 or something, or even cheaper if you find it on sale. And then it's like $699 or something. Don't quote me off the ROG Ally X. So if this is in like between those two, I don't know. I would hope that they'd have, and I think they also said this, 2 different SKUs. I would hope the higher SKU tier of this Xbox ROG Ally, as I am calling it myself, I would hope they would have like a 32 to 64 gig version. 64, fingers crossed. I don't care about how big the M.2 drive is in it, because I'll just buy it one separately for it myself, and I'll just pop in. So they can just have a 500 gigabyte, drive in there, and I'll just pop in a 4 to 8 terabyte drive after the fact and have all the room that I don't ever need to utilize in it. But because I'm stupidly spoiled on it, I would definitely pop in the biggest, fastest drive in there for M.2 drive. But I'm wondering. I think it's all speculative. I know they want to make them cheap as possible so it gets into more people's hands, but I don't want them to sacrifice the power, because if you don't have them as powerful enough, the games to be played on them, like games from PC games to whatever, and it's going to struggle. It's not going to be looking as good. It's going to have some down points to it. So fingers are crossed, even with the new SoC chip, I'm hoping that they'll have a more higher intense memory base on these with the new SoC, and they utilizing all the technology. I'm, as a gamer, willing to pay the $699, $700+ price point for one of these things if they are good. Like I said, I spent over $1,000 because I bought the ROG Ally Extreme. When the first one came out, I spent $700 for it or something around there. And then I bought, what was it, a 2 terabyte or 4, I think 2 terabyte M.2 drive at the time. That was like $400 on itself for that M.2 drive at the time. And I spent like over $1,000 on my ROG Ally, and I love it. And I utilize it all the time. So it's getting played all the time. That's a small price to pay if you can keep playing it and play all these games on it and not have to worry. Like I said, I'm just hoping that they don't sacrifice power for price. I know people are price conscious, very price cautious out there. I am too, and also I want stuff to be able to be played on. I want to be able to play my games on these systems. And especially when Microsoft keeps talking about Microsoft shares updated Xbox Play Anywhere games list as it unifies console and PC, because that's what they're eventually going to try to do, is have where it's all just one thing. You can play on anything, but it's all going to be one thing. It's not going to be console over here, PC over to here. It's just going to be a uniform game code so everybody can play on anything. And it'll, like they said, it'll also help developers say, hey, we don't have to worry about making games for this device, that device, that device. It'll just scale like a PC, like a normal PC game would scale, so would these console games, because they'll be more PC-like going forward. And if you're playing the game on a ROG Ally or this or that, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff because it's all going to be unified going forward. And that sounds like a great thing. And right now, Microsoft has 1,000+ games with Xbox Play Anywhere they're touting. And that's a lot. And for people like me that play on multiple devices, including a PC and an Xbox, you know, that's just better for us gamers, you know. And I'm willing to spend a little extra money if you allow me to be able to play my games in more places. Like they got those Amazon sticks and stuff that you could play games off of if you have a wireless controller and stuff attached to it, or the Xbox controller attached to it. They're also coming out, I guess, rumored that they're coming out with a new updated controller, which will also have that Wi-Fi built into it, like the whatchamacallit, what was that called from Google? The Stadia? Yeah, is that what it was called? The Google Stadia, where it was Wi-Fi, so there was less latency when you were streaming the games to your TV or device and you're playing on that. They're supposedly having one of those controllers coming in the future. So if you want to play on your TV without a console or anything, and they want to utilize that extra bandwidth and stuff so that you play your games and stuff and not have any hiccups in it and stuff. That seems like cool technology to add to a next-gen Xbox controller going forward. So I can see that as well. And just like I said, uniforming the whole Xbox ecosystem to be mostly PC-oriented going forward, and not just having, this is all just on an Xbox. You got to use Xbox code and whatever you have to do behind the scenes to get it to run and play on an Xbox like Series X or S or something. This is just going to be code, just like in any PC game, and you can get it. Just works. It just works. Like I say, I play these games on my PC. I play these games on my ROG Ally. It just scales, and that's what they should do. And that's what I said they should be doing for a long time now. And for both console and PC, they shouldn't just have separate things that makes it harder for game makers to port onto your systems if they can't scale. And all these people are complaining that they're not able to scale properly and stuff. Don't make it harder, make it easier. And then, Sony's doing their own thing, so who knows what they're doing. But Microsoft, that sounds like a good plan, especially when you're still dead last in the gaming sphere. Why not try? At least they're trying to do stuff, and I like that. They might be an evil corporation, but at least they're trying to still win the hearts and minds of gamers out there, even though they're not going to be that company that we all knew and loved back in the day when it was the Xbox and Xbox 360, where it was all pure Xbox love. Now it's going to be more, like they said, anything's going to be anything and everything could be an Xbox. And if they uniform the code and all that, and it's all more PC-based coding and stuff like that, that will happen. That's how they'll get at that. That's how they'll get people maybe to come back, and people go, oh, I can play this game on my PC, my handheld. I can stream it. And over here on the PlayStation, I can only play it on a PlayStation. Here on the Switch, I can only play my game on the Switch. Xbox, I can virtually play it anywhere. Especially if Microsoft eventually gets when they're starting to sell their games on Switch and stuff too, and stuff like that, and PlayStations and stuff, they're getting their software everywhere. So play anywhere. So, and like I said, talking about this new console, which is supposedly 2027, so 2 years away, it's going to be more PC-like going forward, which is great. I hope they don't just try to make it where, I don't know power-wise what they would plan on doing with that, but as long as they get the coding behind the scenes and for the console to work properly, I would, if I was Xbox, aka Microsoft, because they had to go up to the CEO to get the okay from the CEO. I would be touting, let's get rid of all this third-party crap like they did with these, with Seagate and stuff like that, where they have that special memory drive to plug into it. They could have it backwards compatible where you could still plug in those memory units, but they should have it where, like Sony does, and like Asus and other people do for their handhelds and stuff, and Sony does with the PS5 and stuff, and they've been doing it since the PS3 and so on. Let us put our own drives in there. Let us put a M.2 drive in the next Xbox. Let us put our own stuff in there. If you really want to say this is more going to be PC-like, let us put our own device in there, our own hardware, and not partner up with somebody which charges a bit more money for that device or that storage and stuff, and let us put our own in there and then call it a day. And then you save more money. You could put in like a 500 gigabyte and say, hey, if you want to upgrade to an 8 terabyte M.2 drive, go right ahead, pop that sucker in, and it'll work. People would thank you for that. Gamers would thank you for it. Yeah, sure, have a bunch of memory on the board. Have a 500 gig or 1 terabyte of internal drive memory on there, and then just let us pop in whatever we want and not just buy these third-party partnered drives like you guys have been doing. Not that it was a bad idea. It's just still too expensive. Sony already did that. You guys did that before. And it was limiting. It's limiting. You can only get up to 2 terabytes on those things. So, but what for the next gen Xbox? I think they should just recode the original Xbox Series X and S's. I don't know. I think they should have just made new code, a new Xbox interface. I wonder if they would be able to recode and re-put on a whole new OS on the Xbox Series X and X's out there, that those could be more PC-like and be more uniform so that they can play these games and stuff and not have to worry about making new hardware. I don't get why they want to try to do that stuff and try to make them cheaper. Unless if this new, more PC-like hardware is going to be cheaper because they're going to just use more parts that not going to make the costs go up, but it'll keep the cost cheaper, and they don't have to worry about, oh, we got to put any specialty parts and stuff in them and stuff. It'll be more of a PC maybe going forward, but it's going to be Microsoft's home gaming PC, aka console, where it'll have the console interface, but if in the background or whatever, if you want to go into the other interface, you can use it as a PC. You can install Steam and all that other stuff on it, like they were talking about the Epic's Game Store, GOG, stuff like that, for support, as they're saying here in this article, third-party storefront support. That would be cool too. That would be cool, but sure, that would make Microsoft not make as much money on it compared to having it more of a closed ecosystem, which I'm sure Sony is not willing to let go. Yeah, Sony would never do that. And Sony would never open up their ecosystem to anybody. They're very, very, very protective over their stuff and on that side, on the software and hardware side. So I'm surprised Sony even sells their games on like the Steam store, actually. You know, because they're never going to sell their games on the Xbox store. Oh, hell no. Not Microsoft will do it on their store because they want to make money. Sony, they're more old school samurai type of companies right now, and they're just more focused on, we're a premium company because we're Sony. This is the PlayStation. We're definitely stuck in our values and stuff, and it's going to be hard for them going forward. If Microsoft becomes that extra more open company, and then you got, of course, Nintendo being Nintendo, nobody has to worry about Nintendo because Nintendo does what Nintendo does. Sony could eventually see themselves getting held way back, especially when Sony's still, they're touting that they want to create their own handheld. Imagine how locked down and how much money you're going to have to spend on memory cards and stuff for that thing. You're going to have to buy their special dual whatever and this and that. Sony will not open that shit up for anything. I'm just saying. even though I love my my Vita, that thing was locked down for shit, and buying, memory cards and units for that thing, that's what killed it, because there was no software being made for it because the thing was too expensive, and then you had to buy all the stuff to run it. And the PSP was amazing. PSP was definitely a lot more open and amazing. The Vita, I loved it. It was just something that Sony did not want to, and then they gave up the ghost on it. They just went, and they just gave up on it. And I was one of the many that were really sad about that, because I love my Vita and I wish people would have supported it more. But I understand that if Sony wasn't going to support their device, like, let's talk about the PlayStation VR headsets, PSVR 2 and stuff. They don't want to support it. Nobody's going to make stuff for it. If they don't support their hardware with software and stuff, just like how this PS5 generation's going, even though they're selling a lot of them, they're not selling as much as they want to, but they're selling a lot of them, and they are selling more than Microsoft. They're just not making the software to do it. That's why I always say, if I'm going to buy any Sony PlayStation games in the future, I'll probably just get them all on Steam. Like, I got Horizon Zero Dawn on there. I got the Ratchet and Clank game. If I decide to buy anything else, like if they eventually bring, what's that called? What's that game that came out recently that was really good that people loved to death? That little, what, that platformer? Shoot. I forgot its name. You know what I'm talking about, though. Shoot. That's right. Had to look it up very quickly. Magic of editing. This is why I don't do my podcast live, because I have to pause a lot, either to take care of my nose and stuff, or I got to look up stuff. Astro Boy. Now, if Astro Boy or Astro, they call it Astro Boy, is his name? Astrobot. Sorry, not boy, Astrobot. If they decide to put Astrobot on Steam, which I would think they would, even though it's all PlayStation themed, but you would think that would be a good thing, because then they think, oh, we can get these people on our PlayStation. Nah. But let's just say they bring it on to Steam eventually, and then eventually it'll get cheaper, and then I'll definitely buy that, and I'll play Astrobot on my PC or ROG Ally. Just like how Spider-Man, I got the Spider-Man games on there on PC. I don't need a PlayStation. What do I need a PlayStation for? If I can play these games on my PC or ROG Ally, why do I need an expensive console unit from the company that doesn't really support it as much? And then all the games that go to that console, you can play on a Xbox console as well. And then, like I said, Switch is their own thing, because they got all their own first-party stuff, which they fully stock very well over there, which definitely Microsoft and Sony need to learn how to do, which Microsoft is doing now, but who knows about next year. But, I don't know. I don't know what they would do. I think also it's stating in this article that the next generation Xbox might just be one unit, possibly, and not two, like an S and an X, like they did this time around, that they're just going to have one unit. Maybe it'll be upgradable or something. Who knows? But it'll be more PC-like, so that'll be interesting. But it'll be a nice, easy PC interface. So all the games can play on it better and run better. Nothing more about that. I don't know. I don't know what the price point would be on that. I don't know what it's going to do differently between my Series X, because I like my Series X. The only thing I use it for is my media hub right now, my media center. And I did state many times that I might not buy another Xbox after the Series X, that I might be fully PC, but that's only depending upon what comes out for the next. Like I said, if Microsoft is going to be doing this whole unification going forward, where buy your games, play them anywhere, and all these third-party companies go along with it this time, and you got Ubisoft and EA and all those games can come into the ecosystem, and it doesn't matter. I buy it once, and I can play it on any of my devices, PC, handheld PC or Xbox device. That would be cool. That'd be a really cool thing. Just got to see if other people are ready to go play that game. Because like I said, a lot of people would just be like, no, I want my game to be purchased on this console, on this PC, on this handheld separately, maybe this device there. I don't want them to buy one device and buy the game once and play it anywhere, because then I'm losing sales. But what else are you going to do, folks? You want your game to be, you want to sell it in more places. Why not? I don't know. It's a hard thing. Like I said, game making is hard, and the game industry, even though it's exciting, I'm glad I'm not a game programmer or something like that, because it's just a hard place to be right now. Expensive and hard. It's an expensive hobby. Maybe Microsoft can make it a little cheaper, because that's what they need to do. If they can make that hardware a little cheaper, or release it a little bit cheaper and still give you the bang for your buck or more, and then be able to still make the money on the back end from their games and other people's games and stuff, because everybody will be buy once, play anywhere. That's a great message for gamers, because then they're like, ooh, I got more value out of this game because I can play it anywhere, not just one device and one system. I could play it here, there, portable, or, console. That's good value you're adding for people like me, the gamer, because that's when I go, I'm going to buy this on your store. I know a lot of people make fun of the Xbox store, especially on the PC side. I buy my games on the Xbox PC store. I don't have no problems. The only problem I do have on the PC side, or at least on my PC, the Rogue Ally, it seems to run faster. I don't know why, and that's a wireless connection compared to my physical connection on my PC. Maybe I got to do something different on there, but downloads take a little bit longer on the PC to download. They do eventually catch up, but the Rogue Ally, that downloads just like on an Xbox, 500-600 megabits per second or more. It goes really fast on downloads for the games off the PC store. And you know what? People say, oh, these versions of these games are a little behind other versions of the games, like in the Steam store and all that. Well, when Microsoft unifies all the code and all the games are, you just need one game to work on any device, you don't have to worry about what version of the games are, because they're all going to be the same version. So there's a problem solved right there. Then I can buy this game once and play it anywhere. Like I said, I buy a lot of my games on the PC, Xbox PC store and stuff, and I have no problems. They do need a better return policy like Steam and other people have. I do have a problem with that, but otherwise, the games run good. Games play good, and I get my achievements. Tell me differently, folks. Email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. Tell me in the comment section on YouTube here, if you're watching this via YouTube or something, or if you're watching oldfreakygamer.com, you can email me, or just click on the video and go to the YouTube and type in a comment. Tell me I'm wrong on that stuff, because shit. Or what else would the gamers want out of your games going forward from Microsoft, or how the Xbox and the handhelds and stuff and the ecosystem? Do you like this kind of thing that could be going on? I think it's going to be a great thing. I think it'll make games a lot easier to make and port. And I don't know what Sony's going to do, because they're going to just try to keep everything as much locked down as possible, because that's how they are. And Microsoft's going to try to support more of the gamers, because they are in last place, and all they could do is do that Hail Mary pass, sell their games everywhere and anywhere, and try to get the gamers to come back with good hearts and minds, and try to make hardware that is appealing to people. Even if they have to partner up with a third party like Asus, which is a great partner to be. I got all Asus gear in my house, most of my motherboards, my graphics cards, stuff and all that, and of course my ROG Ally, all Asus. been running Asus stuff for a long time. I love them. I love their hardware. So just makes sense to me. Yeah. I don't have anything else to talk about on that. There could be a lot of goods. There could be a lot of bads. We'll just have to wait and see. It's a wait and see game. We could talk all the rumors and speak about everything we want. I'd be here all day. I've already been here a long time, and I said this was going to be a shorter podcast, but I don't know. I talked a lot about this Xbox stuff and the Xbox ROG Ally future. I'm excited. Like I said, going forward, we'll see how the next gen, because it's 2027. That's 2 years away. If they do come out with something that's interesting for the next Xbox, who knows? But if I could still run everything on my Series X, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to utilize it. That's just going to be my Blu-ray player and media player going forward. And then if all my games are able to be played on my PC and my ROG Ally, I'm just going to play all my games on my PC and my ROG Ally going forward. And still there'll be Xbox games. So no big deal. I have my Game Pass, have my Xbox, everything on that stuff. Why not? And then I'll have the next Switch down the road. Maybe by 2027, I'll have the OLED Switch too. So why don't we get into the games news? That is the games news of the show, because we got some games news here. I got a few stuff to talk about that I picked out. Like I said, I've been picky and choosy, and I got rid of a lot of stuff that I kind of figured people just don't want to hear about. I know I didn't. I read them, and I'm like, maybe people won't want to hear me talk about this stuff because they either heard about it too much or it's just not interesting enough. So here's the games news, folks. Next.
Locked and loaded, ready for the fight. Game Talk Newz, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Game Talk Newz, gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
There we go. So the games news, folks. I like that song because it gives me some time to actually clear my throat, because my throat is throbbing from all this straight talk. A little dry and throbbing. But yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 Remastered has been revealed. I know that's been a little ways away already, but I'm excited. And you know what I'm also excited about? That Activision Blizzard is owned by Microsoft, aka Xbox. Gotta stop saying Microsoft, but it is owned by Microsoft, parent company of Xbox. And I don't have to buy this game because it'll be free on Game Pass. So that's going to be awesome. So I don't have to pre-order anything. I don't have to do anything. I already pre-digitally pre-ordered or selected the game. I forgot what they call it. Is it pre-order or it's pre-install. They call it pre-install, not like it's installing anything, but pre-installing it, I get that extra stuff like the wire Tony Hawk and the other stuff that they supposedly come with it. I think maybe they'll talk about here, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 plus 4, which people are very excited about, is bringing them back, and you can pre-order them now. It's in the same vein as 2021's remasters of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and plus 2, except it's not being done by the other studio. What was it? What was the company called? I forgot who was the company. It's being remastered, or they're being reworked on and remastered by sorry, folks. I'm just trying to look for who used to update it. But they're being done by Iron Galaxy, the people that redid and redid a lot of ports and they made Killer Instinct and stuff. They're the ones that just recently have had all those layoffs, which I'm surprised when you got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 that they're working on. So as content goes, it will feature skate parks from both the games, as well as a new one teased at the end of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 trailer reveal. I don't remember ever watching the trailer. I should watch the trailer. I should pause this and watch the trailer. Hold on. Maybe I'll do it after I talk a little bit. It's a new level called Water Park, and it looks to be like a large abandoned water park with a lot of verticality and rides, ramps, railings make up the level. Skaters from previous remaster will return to, in addition to another batch of newcomers, including Reyesa Leal, Chloe Covell, Jamie Foy, Zion Wright, and Yuto Horigome. So these are new skaters, I guess, in this. I don't know anybody besides Tony Hawk, to tell you the truth, excuse me. But it's cool. It sounds like a few more lady skaters in here. You need more lady skaters, more lady skateboarders. There'll be new songs for the soundtrack. Those have yet to be revealed. However, some of the songs that you remember from the old games will return for the soundtrack. And while the full list hasn't been revealed yet, there's some confirmed tracks, including in this update. So they got a bunch of songs here. Let's see, Ace of Spades from Motorhead I know of. Them Bones, Ultimate, Damaged Goods, 96 Quite Bitter Beings, Yankee and the Brave, King of Beach, Real Thing, Not the Same, New Wave Slavery, Head, Collard Greens, Outta Here, Result, Dog Years, Charlotte, Mass Appeal, Faster Than the World, Roadkill, Amoeba. Amoeba. I think that's what they were saying. Ace of Spades, they got that twice on here on this list. Nice. They got some of these the same thing. So 96 Quit Bitter. You got a couple of these couple times. Not the Same, Outta Here. And it's supposed to be really good. I don't know too much about these. Like I said, I never knew too much about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 until I played it. I bought that. This I won't have to buy. All I know is they're great skating games, skateboard games. I'm very bad at them, even the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. But I have some fun, and now that I get it for free, or you can buy it. The standard version is only going to be only $50. The deluxe $69.99, and then they do have the collector's edition, which includes a skateboard deck by Birdhouse, if you're interested in it, with I guess the new Tony Hawk logo. That's $129.99. So they got something with a nice, cool collector's edition you can get. And I guess those who pre-order it now, or if you're like me and you downloaded it, I'm pretty sure I get it as well. You could get access to the playable Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 demo sometime in June. It'll include 2 skaters and 2 parks, along with a few songs from the soundtrack. So I bet I'll be able to play those. Like I said, I'll be able to play those on my PC or my Xbox, because you could play anywhere, folks. Whoa! Play anywhere. Very interested in these. Like I said, I'm not the biggest. I used to be a BMX guy. Used to be the BMX and BMX, Dave Mirra's BMX kind of games. But I do like these, and I will play them. I will have some fun face planting myself, falling off of stuff multiple times. But still, I know a lot of people enjoy these games, and I'm glad that they're doing it. Iron Galaxy Studios is a great company to do this. This game is coming out July 11th of this year, so that's when the game officially comes out for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. And I think skateboard people really want a new skateboard game, or at least something like this. They wanted these remastered, and they wanted these games to come out again. And now they're going to get it. So you get 1 and 2 now, and now you got 3 and 4. And then I guess people say do not do any more beyond that, and then just make a new one after that. If they do a new Tony Hawk game, it's got to be a new Tony Hawk game after that, because people say don't remaster any of the other ones. That's what I hear from the skateboard gaming community out there. The people spoke. Wasn't EA talking about this revolutionary skateboard game that they were working on behind the scenes? I said scenes. I haven't heard nothing about that lately. But what happened about that one? Is that going to still be anywhere good as these Tony Hawk Pro Skater games? I know Tony Hawk's probably really excited because he's going to be getting a lot more money because his name is still attached to these games. And he's like, ooh, cha-ching, I'm old and I'm getting another payday. And I don't really have to do anything. I heard he still did some like mocap stuff at his age. Like he did some mocapping still. Very little for this game to do some like other stuff. I heard that. That was a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. But for his age, him still skateboarding and he's not doing so hot with his body because when you do a lot of skateboarding and you fall a lot and all that stuff, oh boy, it takes a toll on your body. It's like being a pro wrestler. It takes a toll on your body no matter what. But I'm excited for him. Like I said, even though I am not a big skateboard guy, I didn't really like the Tony Hawk games back in the day. I was, like I said, I was more of a BMX biker guy. I'm very happy and passionate about them now, and I think they're pretty cool. And like I said, makes me want to pull up my Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster and start play a little bit of that and get back into it. Or I'll just wait for this to come, for the demo of this to come out, and then I can get better with the controls and stuff. And playing it on PC, maybe it'll be even better because maybe I'll have some better, I don't know, more power for that. Not that the Series X couldn't handle it, but maybe I'll have more power for that. I don't know. I'll try it out. So, and that's coming out, like I said, July 11th this year by Iron Galaxy, which they do great porting work over there at Iron Galaxy. Now this one, if you guys are like me, and I think this is out already. Let me triple check this. Maybe I'm wrong on this because I forgot if it was now or later. Okay. So March 18th. It is not March 18th yet. So still got to wait. So that's 2 days away. Well, when you're listening to this, 1 day away because that comes on a Tuesday. Because today's the 16th as I'm recording. Monday's the 17th. 18th is Tuesday. So if you pre-ordered, if you play and you like and you pre-ordered the Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns pack expansion, like I did later when it actually got really cheap and it was worth it because that game, that bonus content really kind of sucked. It was a really boring added story, but got it, played it. It came with all the extra DLC characters coming out. So Scream, Conan the Barbarian, which he's still yet to come out, and coming out this time is going to be the T1000, and you can get him March 18th if you got the early access period as part of the early access period for the Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns expansion, or if you're going to purchase it individually because you didn't want to purchase that Chaos Reigns expansion, you got the chance to purchase it. You get a chance to purchase it on March 25th for when it comes out. So I'm going to play it Tuesday, and I saw the trailer for the T1000 gameplay of Mortal Kombat 1, and it looks pretty cool. Robert Patrick's character looks pretty damn cool. Sounds like him, and the fatalities are pretty interesting, and then harkening back to some references of Terminator 2, which I should watch today while I'm eating. It is a really good thing that they have, because usually they just have Arnold and the Terminator and all these games, and this time the T-1000 gets to make a nice addition to this. I just wish they would have also had the Terminator in this, because then you could add Arnold and the T-1000, Robert Patrick, coming back head to head, get RoboCop in there, and then you get 3 different things going on against each other. But that's okay. We got Scream, we got Ghostface, we got Conan coming. I think Conan's coming later, right? I forgot. I keep forgetting. It's been a while since I played any Mortal Kombat 1, but I am very excited because that's one of the main people I really wanted to play as is the T-1000. And I'm going to do that this Tuesday, I guess, because now that I thought of it, I'm going to do a nice little Let's Play, a side Let's Play of the T-1000 in Mortal Kombat 1 and try them out and do a little Let's Play of them fighting some Mortal Kombat characters and stuff. I think that'd be cool. It's a cool video. And people are talking about it in this news article. They're saying that these fatalities that they watched, which I did too, are pretty badass. So get excited, folks. Either this Tuesday or the 24th. Get ready for some Mortal Kombat. I don't have that on here, do I? No, I don't, but I do have
Game Over.
That's from Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 1 T-1000. I don't think I hear anybody talk about Mortal Kombat now. Mortal Kombat 1. I think people are Mortal Kombat out a little bit. I don't hear much talk about Street Fighter or Tekken, any of that stuff too much. You hear stuff coming out like DLC and extra stuff that they're doing to the games, but I don't hear like anything in that fighting game sphere at all. It's kind of weird. Usually I used to hear all this stuff like, oh, this is going to go on and this and that. Remember they used to have like gaming tournaments all the time for all these things, and you would hear about that there's big prizes going on and that these game competitions are going on. Now you don't hear none of that stuff anymore. The whole game competition thing has gone basically down the drain. I think it's just because people got bored of watching them and just went because I hear nothing about it. I'm sure there's stuff out there like out in Europe and stuff that they do it more, and in Asia and stuff like that. But here in the States, I hear not much about any game competitions or gaming stuff at all when it comes to those. What do you call it? I know they're game competitions, but esports. There we go. No, I don't hear about esports anymore. Esports seems like a stupid past. Like this could be a stupid past. And this next article here, and I don't use this at all. A lot of people do. I do not. Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe it's too late for me. Discord, which a lot of people are getting scared about now. Discord is reportedly exploring an IPO. And a lot of people are scared about this because they figure if Discord goes public and it has shareholders like any corporation, and I say this all the time, even with my dear old Microsoft and such, when any company is a corporation and you got greedy shareholders involved, people that might not even care about video games, they just care about, ooh, this is the video game industry. I can make a big bottom line off of this. I want to see some money and I could get a lot more money from it. And they're not really into the products that they're, investing in. It's just, and I understand it's all about money, but in the dark ways, it's more about the money here. Discord going public means they gotta report to shareholders. They gotta keep making money to keep the IPO going up, to make the stocks go up. They gotta charge more money or make the platform more closed down, or stuff like that. They gotta change it's gonna change the whole platform that Discord has grown up with. Like Discord's gonna be different going forward if they IPO. And it's not going to be the same. And gamers and people out there that use Discord, I know a lot of podcasters and such use Discord as a business platform too, for like videos and to get out there. They use it as an extra thing to get out there for their Patreons and stuff like that. But if they IPO and stuff, I can see drastic changes to Discord and the Discord app and stuff. And a lot of people aren't too happy about that, even though they said, oh, we're not going to sell out like others. And people are like, oh, you're going to sell out like the others. You can't tell them not to do it either, because they are a company that they want to make money, and that's how they're going to make money. I guess they want to make more money, and because they are a big company, they've grown, I guess, 3 times already, and popularity surged over the years. But what happens when they IPO and the software and stuff eventually goes to shit or something? They're going to lose all that popularity. They're going to lose all their devoted customers, and people are going to move on to something else, and then they just become everybody else. And then you never know, if they can't succeed after that, then they just go down the drain, like a lot of other people out there that have done this and stuff. But I know it's one of those big social platforms and everything else, and it's, for the gamers, but I guess people paying money and whatever. I thought they had like some back end where they made money from people doing subscriptions. And like I said, I'm not too familiar with the whole Discord behind the scenes and the back end of it. So I'm just talking a little bit out of my ass here. But what I hear from other people and what they use Discord for their showing off videos and talking and chatting and stuff, and doing having their products being used with Discord. I hear it's very special to them. I got a Discord like login. I just never did it with anybody. I never chatted or joined up on anything. But yeah, that would suck for gamers in general, because Discord's been around for a long time now, and a lot of gamers love to use it. And a lot of the comments in here in a section are like, yep, profits first. No longer for the consumers, or not for a consumer market, more for making money and stockholders, just like I always say. But hence, that's where the whole industry of the gaming industry and other industries have gone before it. It's always shareholders first. When you go IPO or you go to a corporation, go figure. Not that a lot of these companies like Discord couldn't just stay independent and just say, nah, we'll just stay independent. If they make enough money in the back end, why not? Especially if there's subscriptions and stuff. I don't know. It doesn't, like I said, I'm not a part of that business. So good luck to all you Discorders out there. I should be on Discord, but I'm not. And like I said, it might be too late for me. You never know. I'll join Discord and they'll be cool and something, and then they'll IPO, and then everything changes. The software gets crappy and they charge for everything. And then I'm just like, well, there I go. I just joined something that went crappy all of a sudden. Whoopie-doo. You know what else I joined that won't be crappy still going forward, but it's still cool, and I should get back into it. It's one of those games that I got to get back into once in a while to play it again. Pal World. I love Pal World. Pal World is the Pokemon of the good and beyond. It's like Pokemon meets Zelda meets a little bit of Minecraft and stuff. I like Pal World. And apparently, Pal World is getting updated again. They're doing a lot of stuff still with Pal World. So Pal World gets cross-play late March as part of a big update. So Pal's across platforms. So Pal World developer Pocket Pair is narrowing in on its big cross-play update, which is due out late this March of 2025. Pocket Pair confirmed this update will include multiplayer across all platforms. I'm surprised they didn't do that already, but okay. I don't mind if they waited. I don't think I'll play with other people, but you never know. As well as add world transfer to Pal's No further details were offered outside the promotional image showing a bunch of Pal World characters fighting a rather large pal, which looks pretty badass. Pocket Bear Communications Director and Publishing Manager John Buckley teased a few new surprises as well with the March update. The good news for the 32 million players that have picked up Pal World since the early access launch back in January 24. I was one of those early people. Studio laid out a content roadmap for Pal Worlds 2025 that looks fairly lengthy. Alongside crossplay, there is also an ending scenario and more new content on the way for the hugely popular creature catching survival game. Pal World launched on Steam, priced at $30. I think I paid $30 for it back in that time. And straight on to Game Pass on the Xbox and PC a year ago. Yep. Oh, wait. You know what? I bought it on PC Xbox. I didn't buy it on Steam. I bought it on my PC Xbox. Because originally I started playing it for Game Pass. That's when I started playing Pal World. When it came to Game Pass. Game Pass. I love you. That's what happened. And then I got it for that, and then I paid $30 for it. And of course, there's still an ongoing lawsuit from Nintendo and the Pokemon Company trying to get Pal World knocked off the top throne because they can't handle it. They can't handle the truth that the Pokemon games are pretty lame right now, and they're broken, and they don't do much, and yeah, that's all on them because they just can't just create better games, make them better, make the new ones better. No, they just want to sue and try to get in injunctions and try to put out these multiple stupid crappy patents and stuff like that to try to hurt Pocket Pair and Pal World and stuff because it's so popular, because it does stuff better than they can, even though it does a lot of different stuff and it takes stuff from everything. You know, like I said, it has a little bit of Minecraft in it, it has a little bit of Zelda in it, has a little bit of Animal Crossing, it has Pokemon-esque. It is Pokemon-esque, but yet yeah, they just can't handle it. They can't handle the truth, people. Nintendo, you can't handle the truth. Make your Pokemon games better. Because I used to like playing I played the last one on the Switch. Not the last ones, but the one that first came out on the Switch. And they were okay, but there was a lot of hitching and glitching and borism to what Pal World does. Just take a page out of Pal World's book, Nintendo and Pokemon Company. Make your Pokemon games look like that. Do the same thing they do. Add some guns or something. Well, I know it's more for the kiddies, but, you know, make it more adultish and liven it up a bit, your Pokemon stuff. And you guys shouldn't have to worry. You still sell millions and millions upon millions of Pokemon games and stuff every time. So why do they care? I'm surprised I haven't heard too many Pokemon games coming out yet. That's another weird thing. You know, usually I hear about a bunch more Pokemon games coming out sooner or later. Does anybody else ever hear about any new Pokemon games coming out anytime soon? Huh. I didn't. Usually you hear at least about one or two new Pokemon games or something Pokemon coming out soon. I should look that up. Because usually on some of my gaming news sites and stuff, I would see something Pokemon all the time. Maybe it's just because they're too busy suing people and they're not working on any. I don't know. What's up with the new Pokemons? Maybe they're trying to redo all their Pokemons and try to say, okay, we got to make a better Pokemon game so we can go against Pal World. They're eating our lunch because they're doing stuff that we should have did before, but we were too scared, too proud to do. Just like this. So SAG-AFTRA, I don't like them. I don't like unions. And I know union people out there will hate me for saying this, but I don't like unions. I've been in a union before. And you know what? Back when I was in union, it did not help me damn shit at all. Nope. Didn't protect me. Didn't help me get better paid. None of that stuff. Nowadays, I don't know. And I know you got to pay into the unions, and I had to pay all this money into the union, and I got diddly shit from my union. So this whole thing with SAG-AFTRA, and apparently still ongoing. I didn't even know. Has anybody known this was still ongoing? But there's still like an actors AI strike, a video game actor strike going on, that they're still in negotiations. The Screen Actors Guild and all that is still in negotiations with the video game industry on AI protections and maybe some other stuff as well. But yeah, there's still a whatchamacallit. Yeah, the union is once again asking performers not to work on struck games. So, but how can you continue to tell your people that need to make money to do a job not to work with companies to do voice work for these games and stuff like that? And let's see here. So the following issues remain at large. So these are the still, which is supposed to be still an actor's and voice actor strike in the video game industry still ongoing. Apparently, they still got the following issues: protection from digital replicas or generative AI use for all work, not just work produced from the date of the agreement going forward. A definition of digital replica. SAG-AFTRA seeks to include any performance, vocal, or movement readily identifiable or attributable to the performer based on work contracts. The bargaining group wants to use the phrase objectively identifiable, which SAG-AFTRA says would allow employers to choose to exclude many performances. So pick and choose? What? So what? If a performer does all this stuff like a performance, vocal, or movement, that's all separate? Is that what they're trying to say? They're trying to separate that stuff so the person, if the company, the gaming company that's making the game wants to use not just only the voice of the voice actor, but they want them to capture their performance, like do, the ball thing and the virtual ball thing and movement and stuff, and how they act and all that, and that's all separate costs, I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it's saying. I'm trying to break it down in dumb speak here. The inclusion of movement performers as a part of a generative AI agreement, using phrase real-time generation to refer to generative AI created performances. So things that the voice actors and people do not do, but it still has their likeness. They use their likenesses and stuff, and a generative AI does all the making of their persona themselves, I'm guessing. There's just too much stuff here. Whether or not employers must disclose if it will blend your voice with other voices to make a digital replica. So making a special voice, like Scarlett Johansson's been fighting for a while. Whether or not employers must disclose if your voice will be used for a real-time chatbot that could potentially say anything, or if it will just be created and shipped with a scripted dialogue as part of the game development. All right. SAG-AFTRA proposal withdraws consent for digital replica use, and the guild goes on strike. Employers want to continue to use them in the event of a strike, including on struck games. Oh, so if they go on strike for something, they can't use their digital replicas, and they can't use their CG, their AI to use their likenesses, their voices, and that stuff. If they're on strike, okay. How much performers would get paid? Minimum for digital replica creation and use. Yep. How long consent for real-time generation lasts? Proposes 5 years, which it must then after be removed. So if I own a game and I'm playing a game and it's been 5 years, you're telling me that they're going to delete my game? Because that's what they're saying. They're saying purposes of 5 years in which it must be renewed. So wait. For real-time generation. Okay. So not already made for a game and stuff. Okay. There's a lot of technological mumbo jumbo in here, but I understand what they're going for. But here's the thing. It's been said that also you never heard of this. This hasn't been talked about for a while now. And all these game studios and companies are still going forward making games and stuff. So what are they doing? Are they just going straight AI for the voices? Or are they using third-party non-SAG members to do voice work now? Because, so for people like me, if I get asked to do some voice work, I can do it because I'm not a SAG-AFTRA person, and they're doing it outside of SAG-AFTRA for these video game companies. And I think that's what SAG-AFTRA was saying, that, oh, these companies are trying to use people outside of the SAG-AFTRA members to do voice work and stuff. Let's see here. So basically it's saying here that employers are seeking other performers that they can exploit to fill those roles, including those that don't typically perform in games. If you're approached for such a role, we urge you to seriously consider the consequences. Not only would you be undermining the efforts of your fellow members, but you would be putting yourself at risk by working without protections against AI misuse. And AI misuse is just a nice way of saying that these companies want to use your performance to replace you without consent and compensation, which, I can understand why people would be scared about that. But, it is the future. Things are going to happen. A lot of people here in the thing are in the show notes or in the conversations comment section are stating that this is going to happen whether, either way. Everybody's saying that. And a lot of people says they don't have a problem with AI assistance and stuff like programming and stuff, and sometimes some help with digital assets and stuff. And that's what a lot of companies are saying. They're saying they're just using the AI to help with making a lot of the stuff or deciding on how to make stuff. They're not utilizing it like some. I'm sure there's some people out there, some companies out there that are just damn well utilizing that for 100%. That's why you got companies like Valve with Steam saying, hey, if you're going to put a game in here and it's using AI assets or all of its AI assets, that you gotta represent that, you gotta put that out there, or else we're going to pull your game down. So there are things that companies are doing where they're not allowing that stuff to go forward unless if you represent it and you acknowledge that you're using that stuff. So, but it's the future and technology. I hate to say it because shit, I could be an AI someday too. AI video, voice, all that stuff, persona. It's going to happen. Voice work, video, movement, graphic, all that stuff. It's going to happen. And like it or not, SAG-AFTRA could be trying to sort of help these people. But in the end, these people are being hurt because they're not able to work right now. They're not able to make money because they can't work with these so-called companies unless if these deals are worked out. And then other people, the scabs out there, will say that the scabs that aren't a part of SAG-AFTRA and stuff can go in and do voice work and whatever, and they don't care because they're just making a paycheck going forward, and these companies will utilize them, and then these other people that should be a part of the game and the voice acting and stuff are getting left out because there's just not enough cooperation. And it's weird that these companies, the gaming companies, these gaming companies of the industry are pushing against protections for workers and stuff like that. But I can also understand that they're trying to find ways to save money, to still have the best performances, to save money, to have it so that it doesn't cost them that much money to work on the games. And when they put it out, they can put it out faster and people like me can buy it. It's all money. Everything's money-based. Money, 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 money. That's where it comes down to that. If I don't think a lot of these people and voice actors and people like Scarlett Johansson would give a shit if people use their likeness and everything for anything if she got paid really good for everything. Or maybe she would because she's scared of what people have her do or say, because there was some deep fakes of her talking and saying stuff and she didn't like it, and she's up over saying, I want these people to get arrested and put away for life and stuff like that. And you hear all this nonsense and it's like, welcome to the future, honey. Sorry to say, that's how the future is. Like it or not, you become a celebrity, it's going to be out there one way or another on all this stuff. So can't fight it, progress or not. I hate to say it, but that's how it goes. You got to be careful with that stuff. Like I said, I got so much content of my voice out there and video and stuff. They can make a full AI Mr. Mike anytime. I'd like to see a Mr. Mike fully voiced and looking like me. Somebody should help create that for me, and then I could just put him up there and he can do all the work, because my voice is getting a little hard. See, that's where voice AI work would be great, because then if I don't have to talk as much, it helps my throat out, because damn, my throat is getting scratchy. So good thing this is here's the last news story, because shit, my voice is going. I can feel it. So Sega outlines, this is Sega now. Sega outlines plan to strengthen Persona, Yakuza, and Sonic Studios. States Atlas is an important studio for us to expand Japanese IPs overseas. Notice they're focusing on Atlas, which has all the Persona, Yakuza, and Sonic Studios. And then they're talking about how there's going to be fewer games coming out next year, I guess, and the following year or something, because a lot of these companies already made all these games and put them out. Who knows about RGG Studios? I'm sure they're going to have another Yakuza game next year. Who knows? But I wonder what they're trying to do. Does this mean they're going to try to make these studios bigger and they're going to try to crank out more of this IP, which to me would say you're overproducing the IP? Because like I said, as much as I love these Like a Dragon Yakuza games, even I wouldn't mind if they took a year off or two to work on a new one, and it's not just coming out every single year like a football game or something, because sometime people are going to get sick of that stuff, and you don't want to get your fan base sick of the products either. You know, because they're playing them every single year. They're seeing the stuff every single year. It gets tiring to play it. And, you know, even though I love playing Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, you know, playing in the same world, doing all this similar stuff, you know, it can wear on somebody like that. For me, I play a lot of different games in between, but still, every year I'm like, oh, there's another Yakuza game. That's why it's great for my like a Yakuza like me, because there's always another Like a Dragon game coming out. So, and I don't know what they mean by strengthen. I think they're pretty strong on their own. I think people know about these games. It's just how many you're going to crank out and how many of these games are people going to buy before they're like burned out on these franchises. You got to be careful on how you pump out these franchises, because you do too much, you're not going to get much back. But at least they're backing them. You know, nearly 20, let's see here. Metaphor Refantasio, which is that Persona-like game made by the Persona people. I guess 20 million copies of that game. Was it 20 million of copies of new games like are selling? Okay, 20. So I guess that's a broad spectrum, because I'm like 20 million copies of Metaphor Refantasio. That's a lot of copies. But I don't know. I think they're doing pretty good. I think, you know, they can promote them better. You know, promote Like a Dragon games, promote the Persona games. You know, I'd like to see them promote them in more areas out there for people to see, make them easier for people to play, to get newcomers coming in to play them and stuff. But otherwise, I hope they just don't try to overcrank them out, because if you do that, then you're going to run into trouble. I don't know. I don't have any more context on that. It's just what I think as a gamer. There's so many games coming out all the time, even if it's not you're from certain franchises, but there's games coming out all the time. Every day there's new games, little games, big games. And there's so many more games than there are people playing the games coming out that a lot of times games get overlooked and people stop playing other games, and then you're just pushing against that thing of how many games should come out to people playing ratio, and you're gonna lose. Sure, you're winning now and you're selling millions and millions of copies, but how long before that changes down the road, you know? Oversaturation of any product in the marketplace is not a good thing. It can be a bad thing, you know, depending on the fan base. You know, like Nintendo. They're picking and choosing what comes out. They'll come out with something, and then you'll have to wait years and years and years for something, you know, like a Mario game. They only come out with so many Mario games. Like the Switch, they only came out with the one Mario Odyssey. Otherwise, you got the little 2D ones and the side-scrolling Marios and stuff, or the 3D Marios, I should say. And then you got like one Animal Crossing that came out. You got one Pokemon game that came out. Like I said, I don't know if there was another that came out. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that they come out with. And then for the Switch, this next Switch, the Switch 2, then we're going to get another Mario game, another Mario Kart game. They're going to get another this game and that game. So, and then they come out with one. They're not, we're going to every year come out with another Mario game, or every 2 years another Animal Crossing and stuff. They're coming out like one every hardware generation, pretty much. And that's what Nintendo's been known for practically. They're not putting out these games over and over again in the same generation. That's very rare for Nintendo to do with any of their franchises. I don't know if there's any, besides Mario parties and stuff, I think there was nothing else that was coming out, like the GameCube Mario parties. There was a ton of those. And then I think the Wii had, was it just one for the Wii? And then the Switch, there was a couple. I think there was a few on the Switch because I got the recent one. But besides that, you know, you got your one, what is it called? Super Smash Brothers. You get one every console generation. You know, there's a lot of great IPs that Nintendo makes on all their studios, but they only come out with those IPs once in a great while. Maybe Pokemon, they might come out with another Pokemon game or a side Pokemon game, and they might come out with a couple of those a year, but usually it's just like one of each. They're not like RGG Studios coming out of a Yakuza game every year or two, or all these other companies coming out with multiple games a year and stuff. It just doesn't happen that way, and they do just fine. And it's just Nintendo. So they don't oversaturate with the people, you know, with the gamers out there. So they got to be careful. Atlas and Sega, Atlas, all of them got to be careful of oversaturation of gaming. Even though people like me, big fans of stuff like, you know, I love, like I said, the Persona games. I love my Like a Dragon, Yakuza games. I haven't played a Sonic game in a million years, but I like those too. But just don't oversaturate, because then you're going to lose people like me. You can only buy and play so many games. And I think that's going to be it, folks. I think that's it for this podcast. It's already almost getting closer to the 3-hour mark again. It's already 2 hours and 30 minutes already. So no, it has not been a small, because I talked a lot about the Xbox Asus ROG Ally, or Xbox ROG Ally, by which Asus and Xbox are teaming up to make this handheld, which I'm very excited for. I hope we get more information sooner than later, but I think that's going to happen more so when it comes down to the Xbox showcase in the summer. I bet that's what's going to happen, because Microsoft is going to be partnering up with them. I think they're going to want that to showcase, be a part of their major announcement in their showcase, which I'm all fine for. I want to get out as much use of my ROG Ally as possible before I have to get this new handheld, and then I'll have to figure out how to sell the old handheld or something, or I'll keep it or as a backup or whatever. I don't know. Plus, I want to see what the specs are and all that, and what it's going to be able to do differently, and how to utilize the software and what the back end is going to be like, and Windows and all that. I'm interested in that. I like all the geeky technology stuff too, as a gamer. So everybody, thank you for joining me on this podcast. I hope it was good. I hope I sounded better, because I refandangled some stuff. Like, I got NVIDIA Broadcast to help with my voice a bit, using, of course, AI. Removing some of the smudge and stuff. So hopefully I'm loud enough and I'm articulate enough with that stuff. I'll be listening to it back and forth. Still gonna have my nasally drone and my annoying throat talk going on, but always trying something different. This week, like I said, probably be playing some of that Mortal Kombat 1 with the T1000 when it comes out on Tuesday. For Wednesday's Let's Play, and like I said, it's going to be Road 96, not The Sims, but I will be doing a new Sims Let's Play in the near future when I get back to playing that, because I did the Super Mansion already. That was last week's. I accidentally said that on my stream that it was coming up this week, but I actually posted it last week, Wednesday. But so you can watch that with the Sims 1, me playing the Sims 1, built the Super Sim Mansion. Then I'm going to put my people in there, and we're going to live out some lives and doing some crazy stuff with that. Like I said, it's going to be Road 96 this Wednesday. And then this Friday, of course, like Yakuza Like Me with Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. More story going forward. Woo woo. So we'll be having fun with that. And then after that, the next 2 weeks, then we'll have our next podcast, which will be, let's see here, I'm going to look it up. So a podcast this day. So the 31st, so the last day of March will be when the next podcast will come out after this one. Holy shit. It's going to be April, folks, pretty soon. Where's these days and weeks and months going? Holy crap. I can't believe March will be gone before we know it. So everybody, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on this podcast. Let's see if I can even figure this out. Yeah, here we go. And I thank you all for listening and watching. Remember, I should hold up on the sound there. Like I said, join me on YouTube here every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be streaming, chat with me, whatever, on YouTube. Also, I stream it on Twitch as well as my secondary stream, but you can't chat with me through Twitch. I don't do the Twitch stream chats. Like I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel, OldFreakyGamer. It's one word. Go to my website, oldfreakygamer.com. Download this podcast from there. Listen to it. You can listen to it on all your major podcast apps, on anything, your phone devices, whatever. Play it anywhere. And play this podcast video anywhere. If you can watch YouTube, you can play this anywhere that YouTube is available. So, again, thank you all once and again. I'm going to get out of here. So, everybody, game on. Game hard. World conquest. I'm pushing this gaming button, and the show is now game over, folks. So, until next time, hasta la vista, babies.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
game over.